With F125 just dropping, I decided I was going for the Platinum Trophy right away. On F124, I managed to be the 4th person in the world to earn the Platinum on PSN profiles. So this time around, I wanted to see if I could land somewhere in the top 50.
That's what I've been waiting for.
Stage 1 being F1 World. I kicked things off here since this was the longest and most grind heavy part in F124. I figured it made the most sense to get out of the way early, especially with all the progression based objectives and challenges tied to this mode. Stage 2 was driver career. The main focus here was top driver trophy. You have to hit a 99 rating with any driver. This is probably the longest individual grind in the whole game, so I made sure to stay consistent with results and nail clean weekends to speed up things. Stage 3 was my team career. There were a couple of trophies I had to keep an eye on here. Lucrative alliance, secure a sponsor contract after proposing a more favourable counteroffer. Heads up, this one can be a bit buggy and might not pop when it should. All systems go for upgrading any facility to phase 4, just keeping steady movements as you go. And then stage 4 was Breaking Point 3. I've never played Breaking Point before, but this wrapped up the Platinum journey with a story mode. It's short and has a few unmissable trophies, and if you skip cutscenes, it's pretty quick finish. Alright, let's dive into stage 1, F1 World. Starting off with stage 1, F1 World. F125 has 47 trophies in total, so I jumped straight into my first race. Finish on the podium in an online race. License to drive, nice. On the board. Trophy 1. Online ovation, yes, that is the trophy I was just thinking of. Brilliant, that is us. With 2 trophies on the board, I'm now deciding which constructor and driver I want to back for the fan zone. No, there isn't, so let's go for... And it's gotta be McLaren and Lando. Trophy number 3 in the zone. That trophy last year was a twat. In the zone was a twat. I'm prepared to drive. Nice. Let's go. What's that? Trophy number 4? That's when your first race? Nice. After winning my first race, I kept pushing toward the F1 World trophies. Next up was Hello World for taking part in 5 races. I think I've got 1 more left. Ah no, Hello World, there we go. Looking through the trophy list, I spotted one called Art in Motion. All you need to do is put a decal on your car. Simple enough, so I took a quick detour to grab it. There we go. I knew I was going to get a trophy then. Alright, let's try and do 1 more invitational event. The next trophy I earned was Net Racer, awarded for participating in 5 online events. I actually unlocked this one before finishing 5 invitationals, mostly because I kept running into hosts quitting before the race ended. Oh, Net Racer, there we go. Really?
Oh shit, here we go again.
Why? What's Teamwork Dreamwork? Ah, there we go. After finally completing 5 invitational events, my time with the online side of F125 came to an end. The next trophy I unlocked was Goal Digger, awarded for completing 25 goals in F1 World. To earn this one, you'll need to select goals from the vendor and complete the associated challenges while racing. After finishing the Goal Digger trophy, I figured it was a good time to shift focus to Time Lord, which requires completing 25 clean laps in time trial. There we go. Now that's all of the stream content wrapped up. Unfortunately, the next trophy for completing 10 races doesn't have any footage. The recording file ended up corrupt, so I lost that section. I'd love to say that's the last time this happens in this video, but sadly it's not. Moving on from that little disappointment, the next trophy to pop was Smooth Driver. And for completing 100 clean laps, this one came naturally just by driving clean and sticking to the racing line. Now that the quicker trophies are out the way, it's time to go for the longest trophy in F1 World, Tech Milestone, which you unlock by reaching a tech level of 250. You gain tech levels by upgrading the parts on your F1 car. You get these parts by completing events across the F1 world. While working towards that, I also managed to unlock Race Fanatic, completing 25 races, 1 step closer to the Platinum. Trophy 14 in the spotlight popped shortly after. This one's for finishing on the podium 25 times in F1. Now on to the final trophy in F1 World, tech milestone. Like I mentioned earlier, this one's for reaching a tech level of 250. It wasn't until after I'd already sunk countless hours into the grind that I realised invitational events actually give you the best rewards for boosting your tech level. So for my final race in F1 World, I jumped into an invitational event and finally hit that 250 mark, unlocking the trophy and officially wrapping up stage 1. Moving on to stage 2 of this platinum journey, driver career. First things first, I needed to choose my driver. Thinking about it logically and keeping the top driver trophy in mind, I went with Max Verstappen. He's already starts at a 94 rating, so I figured that it would give me a decent head start, hopefully meaning it wouldn't take too long to push him up to 99. The first official trophy I earned in driver career was following orders. This one's for completing 25 dynamic objectives. Since this trophy made a return from last year, I used the same trick as before. Complete a single objective, then rewind a few seconds and do it again. Rinse and repeat 25 times and the trophy popped without any issues. The next trophy I earned was for unlocking 4 perks from my specialists. This was a solid milestone, especially since I'd spent most of season 1 focusing on their objectives with a long game in mind, particularly working towards the Friends for Life trophy. More on that later. In the meantime, I managed to pick up 3 more trophies in quick succession. After wrapping up my first season in driver career, these were for winning the Drivers' Championship, earning my first accolade, and winning the Constructors' Championship. And as you just saw, by the end of season 1, I'd made some solid progress towards top driver. Max Verstappen was already sitting at a 97 rating, just a couple more to go, so I was feeling pretty confident heading into the next season. I almost forgot to mention Circuit King. This trophy popped for simply completing a full season in driver career. Now, with the season 2 of driver career ahead of us, I'd been in talks with McLaren throughout the first season about potential move. So when it came time to choose a team, the decision was easy. During the contract negotiations, I made sure to lock in a multi-year deal, which also bagged me the trophy to sign on the dotted line. Now, halfway through season 2, and still not quite at that 99 rating, I decided to double down. Earlier I mentioned the Friends for Life trophy. This one's for reaching level 3 with any specialist, which I managed to knock out mid-season after consistently working on their objectives. At this point, the only thing left was top driver, so I settled in for the long haul, skipping all practice sessions, securing pole in qualifying and simming each race to speed things up. Not long into season 3, Max Verstappen finally hit that 99 overall, and with it, the trophy was ours.
Nice.
With the driver career grind now over, we move on to stage 3, my team career. As I mentioned previously, my main goals in this mode were to unlock 2 specific trophies: lucrative alliance, secure a sponsor contract after proposing a more favourable counteroffer, and all systems go for upgrading any facility to phase 4. With those 2 objectives in mind, we jump into our first season in my team. We're off to a good start, unlocking our first trophy straight away for just creating the team. Unfortunately, the footage for the next trophy, Master Planner, is also corrupt.
You're joking. Not another one?
Now with that out of the way, Trophy 27 has been a long time coming. Frequent flyer. This one's for completing 50 races in total. After everything we've done across F1 World, driver career and now my team, it has finally popped. As any good team principal should do, I got straight to work developing parts for the car. They've changed how this works in F1 25. Now instead of just jumping straight into development, you now have to research the part over a few days before you're even allowed to begin developing it. This is a new 2-step process that takes twice as long but adds a bit more depth. After going through it for the first time, we earn the trophy research, develop and assemble. While we're on the subject of new features in F1 My Team, they've also introduced weekly activities, small management tasks you can schedule between race weekends for extra bonuses. Since it's a new addition, of course there's a trophy tied to it. After setting up and completing an owner training program, I unlocked the trophy owner's manual. The next trophy we unlock is for completing our very first accolade as team principal. After earning my first accolade as team principal of Team Platinum Racing, I picked up the trophy Feeling Special. This one's for achieving your first specialisation. I'm not gonna lie, I have no idea what that actually means or why I've got it, so yeah.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Nearing the end of Season 1 with Platinum Racing, I managed to unlock 4 trophies in quick succession. Locked In for securing a contract with a new title sponsor, Closing the Gap for entering endgame talks with a driver, People's Hero for reaching maximum sentiment, and Signature Success for signing a driver after proposing a counteroffer. Unfortunately, Locked In actually screwed me over a little bit. I was aiming for the trophy Lucrative Alliance at the time, but it didn't pop as expected. That meant I'd have to come back for it later. On a more positive note, Platinum Racing had a dream debut, winning both the Drivers' and Constructors' Championships in our very first season. Surprisingly, that didn't earn me any trophies, but I did unlock 2 along the way. Talk of the Paddock for reaching level 5 fan rating, and Season Strategist for completing a full season within my team. A few races into Season 2 of Platinum Racing, I unlocked the Brand Buddy Trophy. This one's for reaching maximum loyalty with a secondary sponsor. Now all those trophies are out of the way, I finally realised the error of my ways. I'd managed to mess a few things up which seriously extended my playtime within my team. First, the infamous trophy I keep mentioning, Lucrative Alliance. This one's for securing a sponsor contract with a more desirable offer. Sounds simple, right? No, in typical EA fashion it wasn't popping when it was supposed to. I'd met the requirement 2 seasons in a row and still no trophy. Eventually I decided to skip ahead to the midway point of Season 3, where you get the chance to change your main sponsor, and finally the trophy popped. Just 3 seasons late. Honestly, if it hadn't triggered then, I don't know whether I would have finished this platinum. Off the back of that came Brand Loyalty, which is for reaching maximum loyalty with a title sponsor. Another one that sounds easy, and it is, unless you're me. Because I'd been changing my main sponsor each season in an attempt to get Lucrative Alliance, I hadn't stuck with one long enough to max out loyalty. Thankfully, the sponsor I finally settled on was only 1 level away from max, and after a few more races, that trophy popped as it should. And now for my final fuck up of the day, the trophy All Systems Go, which is for reaching phase 4 of any facility. Back in seasons 1 and 2, I focused all my upgrades on the engineer facility, thinking I was on the right track. But what I didn't realise is that this is the longest facility to upgrade. So at that point I had a choice: commit to another 2 seasons of grind or pivot. I chose to switch over to the corporate facility, simmed through an entire season and finally got that trophy to pop. And with that, my time in my team was finally done. Thank fuck.
Hey Chief, we have a part or 2 ready for development.
Now with my team finally out of the way, and me having made this platinum journey way harder and longer than it needed to be, we're on to the easy part. Stage 4, Breaking Point. Breaking Point, for those of you that don't know, is essentially the story mode in F1 25. This game mode is super straightforward. All you need to do is play through chapters 1 to 15 and the 4 trophies tied to it are yours. Unlike in previous F1 games, there are no decision-based outcomes to worry about. In F1 25 it's nice and simple, just complete the chapters and the trophies will pop naturally. I'm going to skip over the actual story of Breaking Point and just show the trophies popping. I don't want to spoil the experience for anyone planning to play through it themselves. With Breaking Point complete, the platinum is now ours. I set out on this journey wondering if I could be one of the first 50 to platinum F1 25. And well, did we really have any doubts? I managed to be the 36th person in the world to platinum F1 25. I know it's not quite as impressive as last year's 4th place finish, but hey, juggling work, life, gym and YouTube, I think I've done a pretty good job. Please like, comment and subscribe. It's been Ramsey guys, and I'll see you in the next platinum.